This reckon is presently was discovered of a co-accident X-ray person review a baby by Dragos like wow, almost 1K subs. Wow. Go and subscribe to Dragos. Yeah. The link to the video with the discipline below. Go and check them out. So let's into this reaction in 3, 2, 1.
The doctors The doctors expected to see broken ribs,
Yeah.
maybe internal bleeding, but nothing unusual. Yet, when the X-ray appeared on the screen, the entire room went silent. There was something inside this man's body that no one could explain. Caleb
Really?
Whitmore, 29 years old, was living an ordinary life in
A good
Indiana.
looking guy.
He was
Yeah.
punctual, responsible, and rarely late for work.
And he's a really good looking guy too.
That morning started just like any other. He had breakfast, put on his work boots, and grabbed his car keys. He left his small apartment, waved goodbye to his partner Adrian, and promised he would be home for dinner. Caleb had no idea that within just a few hours, his life would take a turn so shocking that neither of them would ever forget it. Caleb drove down the familiar road toward his office. The sky was clear, the traffic normal. He even
Yeah.
hummed along with the radio, completely unaware of what fate had in store. Just as he crossed the intersection, a truck suddenly swerved out of nowhere and slammed into the side of his car. The impact was brutal. Metal crushed, glass shattered, and Caleb's world went black. By the time the paramedics reached him, he was still breathing but barely conscious. He was rushed to the emergency room, his body battered and bruised. The medical
Oh,
team
really?
prepared for the worst: broken bones, internal bleeding, maybe
Yeah.
even spinal damage. But none of them were ready for what the X-ray would reveal. Doctors quickly ordered an X-ray. They expected broken ribs, maybe internal bleeding. But when the image appeared, Dr. Harper froze. The fractured bones were
What?
there, yes, but below them, something strange. At first, it looked like a mass. Then, like a shadow of something familiar. He called for a
Yeah.
second opinion. Another doctor stared, whispering, That, that looks like a fetus."
What?
Everyone went
Oh, wow,
quiet.
wow, wow, wow,
The
wow, wow.
machine
I
wasn't
think.
broken. The X-ray was clear. Still, they ordered an ultrasound to confirm. The room
Yeah.
was dim, quiet except for the hum of the machine. Caleb lay still, confused, as the probe pressed against his abdomen. The screen flickered, and then the sound filled the
Yep,
room.
that's a baby.
Thump thump, thump thump, a tiny heartbeat. The technician's hand trembled. Nurses exchanged worried glances. Caleb's brows furrowed. "What's going on? Just tell me." Finally, the doctor spoke. "Caleb, there's a developing baby inside you." Caleb's mouth went dry.
Baby,
He
yeah.
laughed nervously. "That's impossible. I'm a man." But the ultrasound didn't lie. A fetus was
Yep.
there, alive.
That's
The
a
medical
baby.
team sat Caleb and Adrian
That's 100% a baby. Yeah.
down. After hours of tests, the truth emerged. Caleb wasn't just any man, he was transgender. Born biologically female, Caleb had transitioned years ago. While his outward identity was male, some internal reproductive organs remained. Caleb had kept that part of his past private,
Wow, really?
even from many close friends.
Yeah.
Adrian knew, of course, but neither of them had ever imagined this would happen. During intimacy, Caleb's body had unexpectedly released an egg. Against all odds, it was fertilized. The pregnancy had developed unnoticed for nearly 12 weeks,
Wow, really?
until the accident forced it into the open. Caleb stared at the floor, trembling. Adrian sat beside him, gripping his hand but equally shaken. "This wasn't part of our plan," Adrian whispered later that night. "We had so many things we wanted to do: travel, save for a house. We're not ready for this." At one point, Adrian suggested, "Maybe, maybe we should end it." Caleb's eyes welled up. He had been thinking the same. But as he looked at the ultrasound photo resting in his hands, something
Yeah.
inside shifted. "It's not the baby's fault," Caleb said quietly. "He didn't ask for
Yeah.
this. Everyone deserves a chance at life."
Yeah, two of them. Yeah.
Adrian fell silent. The decision weighed heavy on them both. When they told the doctors their choice, the response was grim. "This will not be easy," Dr. Harper warned. "Your body was not built to carry a baby safely. There are high risks, complications, internal bleeding, even danger to your life." But Caleb and Adrian had made up their minds. They would face the risks together. The months that followed were brutal. Caleb's body ached in ways he had never known. Nausea, exhaustion, back pain, it was overwhelming. Adrian tried to be strong, but tension grew between them. Nights were filled with arguments, stress, and fear. But every time they heard the baby's heartbeat,
The baby will be. Oh,
every time they saw the tiny kicks on the ultrasound, they grew
yeah.
more attached. The unplanned baby had become the center of their world. As the months passed, the pregnancy reached its final stage. The doctors had insisted a C-section was safest, but Caleb was determined. Against their advice, he wanted a natural delivery.
That's how the delay babies. You want to push?
Labor was long,
Oh, rubber was long.
grueling, and filled with danger. Adrian stayed by his side the entire time,
That, that's necessary. Yeah.
whispering encouragement even through
You
tears.
can do it.
Finally, after hours of agony,
Oh,
a piercing cry filled the room. The baby was here, but joy turned quickly to fear. The newborn's breathing was weak. His tiny chest rose and fell erratically. Nurses rushed him away, placing him in the ICU under constant monitoring. Caleb and Adrian, exhausted and terrified, held hands tightly. Tears streamed down their faces as they prayed for their son. They had spent months arguing, doubting, even wishing at one point that this never happened. But now, with their baby fighting for life, nothing else mattered. Those first hours were unbearable. Machines beeped, doctors rushed in and out, and the couple sat helpless,
yeah.
watching through the glass as their baby struggled. They whispered prayers, begged for a miracle. It was in those moments that Caleb realized how deeply he loved the child he once feared. Adrian too broke down, clutching Caleb, whispering, "He has to make it. He just
Yeah.
has to." For
Yeah.
hours, the baby lay in the ICU, tiny and fragile, surrounded by wires and machines that hummed steadily. Both Adrian and his partner stayed outside the glass window, holding each other's hands, their hearts pounding with fear. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the doctor stepped out with a faint but reassuring smile. The baby had started breathing on his own. He was weak, but alive. That
That's
moment broke
good.
both of them into tears, not of
You
fear this time,
survive.
but of
Eh?
relief. They
Yeah.
realized how much this child, once unwanted and unexpected, had already become the center of their world.
Yeah.
Caleb's story is not just about a medical anomaly.
Nope.
It's about how life surprises us,
Yeah.
challenges
Love to surpass us. Literally. Literally.
us, and
Yeah.
forces us
Silence that too.
to make choices we never imagined.
Yeah.
This wasn't the path Caleb or Adrian had planned.
True.
But sometimes, the hardest journeys bring out the deepest truths.
Yeah.
Every life, no matter how unexpected, deserves a chance. If you
Yeah.
were in Caleb and Adrian's place, what would you have done? Would you have chosen to continue the pregnancy, knowing the risks, or walked away from it?
I will 100% continue the presidency. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. That was it. Presidency was discovered after a car accident expired. The son will be a baby by Decker Toss. The link to the video will be in the description below. Go and check them out and drop a like if you like and comment below if you want to see more reaction like this one. And subscribe if you're new and click the bell so you can be notified for a minute blog in what. Bye. Wow.